All right, this is Ubaid on behalf of V Electronics, and in this video, we'll learn the difference between qualitative and quantitative data. So when it comes to data and statistics, okay, qualitative data has to do with specifications. It has to do with properties. So let me write this down over here. So this is your qualitative data. This has to do with specifics. Okay, so specifications rather, so specs. Okay, attributes. Okay, population, or I can say properties rather, excuse me. So this will be properties. All right, so say for example, you're trying to figure out the specifications of a computer or a laptop. Okay, so in that case, the specifications would be considered qualitative data. Okay, attributes. Okay, when you try to figure out the attribute of a person. Okay, let's say how the person behaves, how or she responds to certain situations. Okay, so on and so forth. So that has to do with qualitative data. Okay, properties. Okay, so let's say you have a chemical element in front of you. Let's say a chemical element on the periodic table, and you are trying to figure out the properties of that chemical element. Okay, so how it behaves in a chemistry class, for example, when you try to make it interact with other elements, okay, in the testing. Okay, so that has to do with properties. So all these three, okay, has to do with something called qualitative data. All right. So in terms of population, if you try to collect information or data about a given population in a given country, qualitative data would be things like demographics. It has to do with the size of population, maybe. Okay, it has to do with race, color. So race, okay, color and gender. So these are examples of qualitative data, which has to do with things like attributes, specifications, or properties. Now, on the other side, you have quantitative data. Okay, and as the name suggests, it has to do with quantity or numbers. All right, now this could cover things such as statistics in general, okay, because statistics does consider numbers. So if you talk about probability and statistics, so probability. And statistics or stats. All right, now apart from probability and stats, you also have other types of numbers, such as size of the population. Okay, so this is size of the population. Size of the population. So this has to do with quantitative data. All right, so number one is qualitative, number two is quantitative. All right, so that will be it for this video. On behalf of Electronics, this is Obey. Have yourself a great day.